What is going on, my Houston Texans family? Look, no one expected a tie yesterday against the Indianapolis Colts, but after rewatching the thing, I noticed some very good things, some bad things, and definitely things that we could work on to get better. And that's what I think is working in the Texans' favor is the youth. These guys are very young. They will get better, and that goes for the offensive young guys, the defensive young guys. I like this coaching staff, even though they kind of blundered it at the end, but I think as this season goes on, this team will be, better, because honestly, no one expected us to be hanging with the Indianapolis Colts. If that, no one expected us to have control of the game for the majority until the fourth quarter and overtime blunder. But without further ado, guys, we are almost to 5,000 subscribers. So I want to thank y'all for spending the last couple years with me. We are almost to one of my huge milestones. So if you guys are new, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And as the Texans ramp up, we are going to ramp it up here. I think Davis Mills was good. I think he was okay. Not good, not bad, but okay. Going into the fourth quarter, I was giving Davis Mills a low B, right? He started off the game kind of rocky, was missing people high, missed that third down conversion to Chris Conley where he threw the ball very low, even though Conley had his hands on it. The ball placement just wasn't there. And then Pep Hamilton got him into a rhythm, right? He was working the play action really well, finding the tight ends. He was very good in the red zone, which was something that he's carried on from last season as a rookie. Finding O.J. Howard in the red zone twice for touchdowns. Speaking of O.J. Howard, a great signing by Nick Caserio. It has already paid off. I said it many times. This is your best tight end as soon as he walks in the door. And number 83 definitely balled out. And I hope him and Mills keep this connection going on. We know that A.J. Howard was a red zone threat, and his first 2 touchdowns came in the red zone for the Houston Texans. Excited for this combo as the season goes on. But Davis Mills definitely had some good moments, right? Some moments where the Indianapolis Colts were in his face and he threw a dime to Brandon Cooks multiple times. Brandon Cooks had a very good game in itself. Nico Collins was nowhere to be seen for me, right? It was very disappointing. I named him as one of my keys going into the Indianapolis Colts, but only caught 2 passes. And like I said, going into the fourth quarter, you felt good about Davis Mills, but the fourth quarter collapse and the overtime just really, leaves a sour taste in my mouth, because we talked about how this is the year for Davis Mills to prove himself, and there is no time then better to do it than week 1 at home when all eyes are on you. And 3 times he had the chance to put the offense away, didn't do it. The Colts come back. We ended up tying the game. Another takeaway is my still questions about why Rex Burkhead is getting majority of the reps than Dameon Pierce. Because even though the carries were 14 and 11 on third downs, Dameon Pierce was not on the field. That's what was expected. But in the 2-minute drills, in the time when the Houston Texans were scoring, Dameon Pierce was not on the field. And the Houston Texans said, not only do we want someone to block, but we want someone who could be a good asset to Davis Mills, because as we know, Rex Burkhead is a asset in the passing game, right? But it just felt like at 3-1, on 3rd and 1, you don't run that with Rex Burkhead. You run that with Dameon Pierce. Hell, I would even run it with Jeff Driscoll, right? If you listen to Sports Radio 610, that was something that they talked about today. And it segues into, I think Pep Hamilton was really creative with this offense. We saw 2 wildcat situations. We saw 1 flea flicker where if Davis Mills throws that a little bit better, that is you start off the second half with a touchdown to Brandon Cooks. The whole stadium would have erupted. But I do like that they were trying to give Davis Mills into a rhythm, and they did, right? He was 7, 8, 9 passes completion in a row, which led to those, touchdowns to O.J. Howard. So I like what Pep Hamilton did. What I didn't like was you call a timeout, and your first play out of the timeout was run Rex Burkhead in that 31, and he gets dropped for an immediate 2-yard loss. That is kind of where I don't understand why Pep Hamilton would just call just a simple play. That is a Bill O'Brien type call. It's to just run it up the gut. Didn't work. Not only that, I'm running that with 31. I'm sorry. I'm even running that with Jeff Driscoll. No way, shape, or form did I think Rex Burkhead was going to get that first down. However, that is the offense. Switching on to this defense, I think they did enough to win the football game for the Houston Texans. That goal line stance was just so fiery and so passionate to see. I love that. You saw Jonathan Owens knock out the ball. You saw Derek Stingley with that big pass breakup. Not only that, you had multiple goal line stops. Jonathan Grenard hitting the Keel Himes and, for a tackle for loss and turning over on downs for the Houston Texans. I like this defense. I wish they did get a little bit more pressure on the QB, right? The only bright spot with the pass rushes was veteran Jerry Hughes, a very good signing by Nick Caserio. He had that interception. He had that sack. And then he created that false start. He was in the right tackle's head. He kicks the Indianapolis Colts out of field goal range. That was a momentum shift for the Houston Texans. Shout out to old man Jerry Hughes, for his great game yesterday. But this defense definitely did enough, right? They pretty much shut down Jonathan Taylor for the first half and into the third, and then just absolutely collapsed. We need more, consistent work from Malik Collins, who I think had a very solid, good game, and Roy Lopez as well. Obo, number 45, got into the, backfield multiple times, but just didn't get there. I need to see, more Mario Addison, who wasn't able to play, more Rasheem Green, who wasn't able to play. These linebackers are a bit of concern for me, mainly number 51, Kalmir Grugier-Hill, because even though he had 18 tackles, he was targeted 15 times by the Indianapolis Colts. He does nothing in the passing game for you right now, which is kind of surprising because he was very decent last year. But you definitely miss Christian Harris, rookie from Alabama. Why is Neville Hewitt not out there? Why is Garrett Wallow not out there? It just doesn't look like Kalmir Grugier-Hill. He looks very slow. He doesn't, look like he looks like he is a step behind. And they definitely took advantage of that, them being the Indianapolis Colts, and converted multiple third downs against his linebacking core. It just wasn't a good day for number 51, even though he had the 18 tackles. That is a liability, and I think that is something that the coaching staff needs to take a look at, because there is running backs all over the league who could catch and run routes, and if 51 is just an asset the whole game, then they're just going to go at him just like the Indianapolis Colts did. I am in love with this secondary for the Houston Texans. Derek Stingley played good, even though he had that one where he got beat and Alex Pierce dropped the ball. Made up for it by knocking the ball away from Alec Pierce again. Big play for the Houston Texans. Big play for the rookie, right? That was a big-time moment in the end zone goal line. That is the reason why we drafted Derek Stingley, number 3 overall. Steven Nelson was very good, was matched up and tested deep multiple times. Had, I think, 1 to 2 pass breakups. The defense alone had 11 pass breakups. Shout out to the secondary. Shout out to these safeties. Jalen Petrie could have sealed the game with that interception. Wasn't able to do it. Was all over the field. Had a couple tackles. Missed a couple as well. He's just only going to get better as the season goes along. And then number 36, Jonathan Owens, had a nice big pass breakup at the end with Mo Ali Cox. Knocked it out of his hand. This defense definitely did a good job. They have to get better in the running game. But the offense didn't do him any favors, putting him in short yardage situations. That sack where Davis Mills fumbled the ball was just absolutely detrimental to this team. It was a snowball effect from there. But those were my takeaways from yesterday's game against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to bring in some guys from the radio in a couple of days, guys, to talk about it. However, you let me know what you think. As always, go Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.